We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the country you are watching this video from. It's been a while since I last came live on my English YouTube channel, uh, but I plan to create lots of new videos pivoting around internet based businesses, primarily focusing on digital marketing. Even though my forte, my strength is freelancing, but as a freelancer who has been freelancing for over 2 decades and has made over 8 figures income, being ranked as one of the top 10 service providers on the world's largest freelance marketplace called Guru.com, I've realized that come 2022, the emphasis would be focused on learning emerging and trending skills, which includes but not limited to learning the likes of things that focus on analyzing, assessing, and forecasting data, because data is new, all right. Augmented reality is knocking at the door, which is really a thing of tomorrow, uh, whose foundation is laid down today. And then primarily digital marketing, because when amid COVID 19, we have seen that lots of small businesses, they have suffered to sustain their brick and mortar businesses. That's because it's hard to uh, pay salaries, it's hard to pay utility bills. Sales are not coming in. And because of the lack of sales, those small business owners were forced to go home or file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So, all of that has actually added a lot of chaos here because everybody saw a catastrophe incoming. Uh, Primarily because of COVID 19 and smart lockdown uh, being emphasized on literally all over the world. And people were struggling to get in sales, get in new leads, uh, do business. And that's where, the world got to know about the importance of digital businesses. Because digital businesses means that you've got a presence on internet. Digital businesses means that you learn how to sell on internet. Next range of millionaires won't be the millionaires who are oil rich, who who own airlines, belonging to an automobile industry, or a real estate tycoons. The next range of millionaires are going to be digital millionaires who've got their hands down on important skill sets such as uh, data analysis, data assessment, data forecasting, Python as a software, R programming as a software. Those who can create mobile app developments, be it hybrid or um, native mobile app for iOS or Android. And primarily, I genuinely believe the next range of millionaires would be digital marketers, because digital marketers know how to find out potential clients who intend to buy a particular product or service. So that's what the world is shaping to, and that's what it looks like in a distant future. But the purpose of coming live and speaking to you about the importance of social media presence actually highlights uh, the importance of creating a solid social media presence, because if you get the foot right um, at the right place, you're giving yourself a fair chance of being first, and you're giving yourself a fair chance of making money. You're giving yourself a fair chance of solving a lot of problems, because small businesses are struggling. They're forced to shut down their brick and mortar businesses. And by helping them generate leads, by helping them generate sales using social media, you stand in a good chance of making huge time in a long run. Now, why do I talk about this? Just to give you a brief introduction about me, I would request everybody who's watching this stream right now, I don't care whatever the number is, some will watch it later. I want to know where uh, do you belong to? Which country are you watching this stream from? Because and I also would like to know the problems you're facing in scaling up your social media presence. Uh, Being a freelancer who has rendered tech skills for over 2 decades on internet, primarily marketplaces like Guru.com, Elance.com, and then to accidentally bump across new opportunities offered by internet, social media. I feel no shame in vouching for having a solid social media presence, set aside some advertisement and advertising budget so that you can reach out to your targeted audience, and by providing a solution to your client's problem, or at least knowing their intent, because it is very important if you want to make a good living on the internet. If you want to sell your product or a service, you've got to know the customer's intent. And as a service provider, your customer is, of course, small businesses who are looking for leads primarily uh, that can be converted into potential sales. I came across this amazing formula uh, when I I tried hard betting on different freelance marketplaces, only to find out that it has got down to a really cutthroat competition, and the prices have dropped to the shameless point where everybody is offering a good value proposition for literally no money. And Fiverr leads the way here, as the name depicts, Fiverr, $5, and majority of the services are sold for $5. So it really does not make any sense. I created my social media presence. It all started with my Facebook profile. I started creating my content to begin with. I uh, I was blessed enough to have teachers and trainers and mentors who taught me to post my videos, pictures, and content publicly. You know what? Majority of us sort of like live in our silos. We live in our shadows. And when I say we live in our shadows, it means that we are afraid of criticism. We are afraid of people pointing fingers at us. And therefore, we limit our post to friends only because we know our friends. And if somebody has got uh, their fair share of criticism, at least there's a fair chance that we know who that friend or a family is, who's voiced their opinion, or voicing their opinion in a comment section. But when we put our post outreach to public, there would be followers, and we do not know who might just stand up, point your point their fingers at you, and that's it. I genuinely believe, yes, job and business life success. What is your good name? Yeah, you're right. Sometimes we are afraid of ourselves, but we are afraid of ourselves is because we have not given it a try. Once we break our shackles and inner chains, once we decide that we have to step into extraordinary league from an ordinary individual league, that's where the magic begins to happen for us. And over a period of time, as we are consistent in doing things, we begin to realize that we are not afraid of ourselves anymore. We are improving, we are progressing, and at the same time, we are innovative because we are not afraid of criticism. Thank you, Vajat. So, while posting my pictures and videos publicly on my Facebook account, I realized that it was my mistake, and I thought I'm in a spotlight effect. The spotlight effect refers to an introvert being cautious enough, and they somehow build this notion that, um, people are watching their every activity. And in reality, this is absolutely opposite. Nobody's got a time to look at uh, what you're up to, your daily activities. Nobody's got a time to, keep a spotlight effect on you. And that's where we realize, okay, we are fearless. We don't have to worry about people pointing their fingers at us. So I started making my videos public. I started making my pictures public. Sometimes I would put my family pictures, and I'm talking about 2017. Uh, Gradually, I decided I need to have a business on internet, and I started creating my social media presence by creating a Facebook page called beangguru.com. Now, after an overwhelming response, as I kept populating new pictures and videos on my Facebook page, beingguru.com, I realized I should have a blog where I can voice my opinion. I can write about different topics, primarily focusing on money, business, entrepreneurship. Uh, as things weird on, days passed by, I sort of felt an urge to step outside Facebook environment. So what options do I have? Uh, by carefully exploring different options, I realized that I need to have a Twitter presence, I need to have an Instagram presence, I need to have a LinkedIn presence. And of course, I need to have a website. Because if somebody searches from Google and if they come across my website, if they land on my website and they like what they see in a form of about us, my services, my portfolio, there's a good chance they might just fill the contact us form and get in touch with me. Then it's up to me to reply them with the price of the services they are looking for. So by giving myself a fair options outside Facebook environment, I could direct or divert my Facebook traffic to these other platforms as well. So eventually, I ended up growing all the different diversified social media platforms. Now, just to give you a fair shot at the numbers, my Being Guru Facebook page is over 600K followers, and I'm eyeing 1 million in next 6 months. My Being Guru blog, which is beingguru.com, typically gets around 5 to 10,000 visitors and unique visitors every single day. LinkedIn has over 40,000 followers. Instagram has over, let's say, 39,000 followers. If my memory serves me well, I'll find out once I share my screen. And same stands true for my YouTube presence on my main YouTube channel, which is in Urdu for Pakistani audience. By the way, I'm a Pakistani. Um, I'm about to hit 350K unique subscribers in over 1.5 months. I started in early 2020, late 2019, and growth is exponentially tall ever since I created my YouTube presence. But it's not something that has happened overnight. You got to understand that I created a strong presence on my Facebook profile. I added friends. Facebook allows you to add 5,000 friends, unlimited number of followers, and people would only follow you if you are generating good content on your Facebook profile. So I started talking about freelancing. I started talking about adding value. I started talking about how you can make money uh, as a freelancer, as a digital marketer, as a blogger uh, on internet. And by adding value, I realized that I'm growing in popularity. Once I saw, reasonably good enough spike in my popularity, Facebook profile is what we are talking about here. I opened multiple avenues on Facebook platform. So Being Guru page was the first one, followed by my group Being Guru. Then we created another group, Learn Freelancing with the Sham server, and then I created my fan page. Now, if I give you a a sneak peek at the numbers we have on these different platforms, and you can go and search these different platforms, you'll find out that my Being Guru Facebook group has over 30,000 users. It's a closed group. My biggest group is Learn Freelancing with Hisham Server. It has near to 300K users. We talk about freelancing, we talk about creating job opportunities, we talk about learning new skills inside that closed group. Then I have a couple of personal groups. Hisham Server, that is created on my name, has over 30,000 group members. Then there's another group, Talk English with Hisham, because I believe that communication stands at forefront of every successful internet-based entrepreneur. So if you lack at communication skills, primarily spoken and written English, success is a far cry. So in order to prepare people for better communication skills, primarily spoken and written English, we convince and urge all the closed group members to record their English content to, try to learn English. Now, I created my fan page a little over 1.5 year ago, and little did I know back then that I'll be able to get huge success. 1.5 years, gained over 300K followers, all organic growth, no paid advertisement. And if I may have your attention, this is a purpose of coming live and speak to you and teach you how you can effectively grow your social media presence organically without paying a dime. Now, if I may have your attention, uh, Open Digital University, thank you, Arshita. Now, if I may have your attention, let's see how this whole thing, sort of like planned out, rolled out. So it all starts with your Facebook profile. Add 5,000 different friends from diversified fields, people from different walks of life. I have friends who belong to entertainment industry, music industry, film, academia, religious groups, politicians, entrepreneurs, business persons, aspiring students, and the list does not end here. Once you add 5,000 friends to your Facebook profile, I would request you to create a Facebook page. Walaikum assalam, Sayyida Safi Saiba. I would request you to create your Facebook page because somehow the algorithm favors pages over profile. Even though I've got a verified Facebook profile, and I say this with a huge responsibility, that Facebook tends to favor pages over profiles, and the outreach of a page is far better than an outreach of a post on a Facebook profile. I'm going to share my screen here, and as I share my screen, there you go. I'm going to show you different things. To begin with, share screen, share screen. I'm going to share my full screen here. Give me a second as it loads. Yeah, good to go. So this is Being Guru page, and you can see insights of last 28 days. People reached over 1 million. Post engagement, 200K plus. Page likes, 3,500. So if I further, filter down the dates to the last 7 days, 1 week precisely, the number here is pretty encouraging as well. People reached over half a million, which is 591. Very interesting. Post engagement nearing 100K. Page likes 203.92. And I did not pay a single money to Facebook. Let's take you to my LinkedIn profile. 40,000 followers, over 500 connection. Just to put uh, numbers for record's sake, I have over 28,000 connections. 40K followers and 28K. So I'm talking about 78K targeted audience on my LinkedIn profile. No wonder why I get good traffic on my Facebook page. And since I've got a good Facebook page, no wonder why I get good traffic on my LinkedIn profile. They counterfeit each other, and the growth on all different platforms go adjacent to one another. And the list doesn't stop here. You got Instagram here. Need to take you to my profile here. So loading as we speak. Give me a second. On my face, on my Instagram profile, I've got around 40K followers. Should be hitting sometime uh, later tonight. And then of course this is just the tip of the iceberg. Then there is LinkedIn, then there is Pinterest, then there is Twitter, then there's YouTube, multiple YouTube channels, then there's my website, then there's my another website. So then the list goes on and on. The point I want to make here is you got to look after, I repeat, you got to look after your social media presence, and it all starts with your Facebook profile. The moment you focus on your Facebook profile, you realize that you've laid down the foundation of a very strong social media presence, because not only it helps you scale up your business, regardless of what you're selling, product or a service, really does not make any difference. But the bottom line is, as you grow, people know more about you and your brand. People know more about the product and services you're offering. And eventually, once you create a reputation, once you create a rapport with people, whatever you wish to sell in the long run would benefit and solicit in a long way. So the purpose of coming live and then speak to you was, and I'm going to do this regularly. I promise you this. I see a lot of friends, old friends coming back. Dr. Asma Jabin, she is a PhD doctor. She's back. I see there were a couple of Bangladeshi friends who used to join my live stream when I used to come live year back. And then there's Prajwal Sharma from India. He says, back to home from where my journey started. Now, this amazing young lad started watching my live streams in 2020, and now he's a successful freelancer on Upwork.com. For those who do not know what Upwork is, it's one of the world's largest freelance marketplace. Uh, you've got to lay down the foundation of your success. And year later, even to Prajwal, I say this, and to all other people who are watching the screen. You got to lay down the foundation by focusing on social media platforms. And the focus on social media platform begins with your Facebook profile. You got to break your inner fears and realize that you're not in a spotlight effect. Make sure you post publicly, be it your picture or videos or text or an opinion you want to voice and want the world to know. So once that post is public, I would request you to create a Facebook page. Facebook loves pages over profile, and I can vouch for this. Don't worry about this. Been doing this for a very long time, as I've just shown you. And as someone who owns 10 plus pages, the engagement on the pages are far better than the engagement you see on your Facebook profile. That being said, I've got a very fine Facebook profile. LinkedIn, you can get initial traffic once you have uh, built a reputation on Facebook profile and pages, and then you can divert all that traffic to your LinkedIn profile. So once you start populating, and then regularity is the key. If you're consistent, you will keep it. If you're persistent, you'll get it. So consistency is the key. Consistency essentially means that every single day you show up, create content, add a value in someone's life. And you can only add a value in someone's life if you show them the way, something that is thought provoking, something that gives them hope. Could be empathy, could be uh, you know a soft touch. Eventually, once you add value in someone's life, they will keep coming back to you. So the reason why people follow me on different social media platforms is because I keep on adding value every single day. Sometimes through my pictures, most of the time through my videos and my posts. Even the posts that are shared on my different Facebook platforms, be it my profile, my group, or my pages, I make sure that the content is beneficial to the viewers. Because unless and until it doesn't add value, nobody's going to give a crap about what you come up with. And then diverting this traffic or benefiting from this Facebook traffic, leveraging on it, and create other social media platforms presence. Beginning with LinkedIn, if you are into business, selling a product or a service, regardless of the niche you are in, e-commerce maybe a freelancer, talk about how you can add value in your user's life, in your viewer's life. You got to understand the user intent, because once you identify your user's intent, uh, the rest of the journey just becomes very simple. Alongside LinkedIn, since it is primarily focused on B2B, business to business, and business to commerce, B2C, Instagram has got a pretty amazing audience because Gen Z, Generation Z, is literally living on social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. They're not on Facebook, they're not on LinkedIn, and you would like to tab onto that audience as well, to show them and introduce your business. Pinterest is the next big thing. I keep on saying this, and I keep saying this, and I'll keep on saying this, that TikTok, Clubhouse, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, Gen Z is more fond of these different platforms than LinkedIn or Facebook. Because not everybody uses Facebook. Some are concerned about their data breach because of all the leaked news about leaked data, uh, you know, cases in the past. So, one is sort of like cautious enough to join a platform where their data is vulnerable, and nobody wants their data to be accessed by a third party, be it for training purposes or be it for selling a data for advertisement and marketing purposes. So therefore, Gen Z lives on Snapchat because Snap uh, is an amazing platform where text or the chat disappears after a while. So it doesn't get stored on the database. So there's no chance of leaking, right? So you write in something, and then the chat disappears after a limited time or a certain seconds, and then you're safe. One feels more inclined towards using these platforms, and therefore Gen Z is fond of these social media platforms. Then uh, thank you, Arshad. Thank you. Thank you, Prajwal. So, last but not the least, once you create a reasonable, decent presence on all these different platforms, be it Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Pinterest. YouTube is an amazing platform because it's a whole parallel universe when it comes to social media. So on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and TikTok, we've got Gen Z, you know, using these platforms more than other people. Facebook is pretty much an old school thought. But then there is another parallel audience that lives in a parallel universe called YouTube. These YouTubers create content, be it vlog, be it informative videos. I, for one, is a prime example on my main channel where I'm about to hit my 350K subscribers. I've realized that these YouTubers literally do not, prefer watching videos on any other platform but YouTube. And when I say but YouTube, it means that they're brand loyal. So if you create content for these YouTubers, the YouTube audience, uh, you'll end up making a good brand presence. And eventually, once you become successful, money is a byproduct of success, right? So that's what the strategy is. That's what I would advocate for. That's what I would advise you to uh, do in 2022. I want you to focus on different social media platforms, and it all starts with Facebook profile. Create your presence, build an audience, build followership, then create Facebook page, and then moved on to other diversified, different social media platforms, starting with LinkedIn, moving on to Instagram, Pinterest, Zoom, Clubhouse, TikTok, Snapchat. That's it. And if you should focus on the tasks that move the money needle or at least make an impact. So, since this is a long lasting footprint, it has to be done right. And I would advise you to hire people who could consistently populate content on all these different platforms. So, if your time is too precious and you want to focus your energy on creating new business avenues. Perhaps you are working literally 24 hours as a freelancer. As we know, freelancers are night owls, self employed, but yet uh, sabotage to their own dreams, which means they are no free bird, even though they claim to be one. Because every now and then, if they come across a cranky client, it does make their life miserable. So much to the self employment and the freedom they once opted for as a freelance. Uh, so, one last advice I would like to give you here is to create your websites. Creating your website is very important. And if you create your website and if you even do not know how to create a website, I've got an offer for you. By clicking on this link, by buying a 4 years hosting services from hostinger.com, and then if you contact me and send me an email, I'm going to help you. Give me a second. I'm going to help you in creating a free website. It could be a basic blog site, it could be a portfolio website, it could be an e-commerce website. My team will build this website for you absolutely free, no strings attached. All you need to do is just buy the 4 years hosting and then send me an email. So you got two links here. Create your website, prepare yourself for social media presence, build your internet based presence. So if somebody is searching for your business related keywords on Google, make sure you're found. Make sure people can find you. And if and once they contact you, uh, and if you've got a decent enough looking website, I can assure you, not only you'll be able to grow in your career, do more business, but that will orchestrate ways for further growth on internet. This is it, my friends. I promised 35 minutes, 10 minutes short of 35, exactly 35 minutes. Go and avail this amazing website development offers. Uh, when I say offers, it means that you can buy premium account or you can buy business account. Eventually, it's going to help you. And my team is going to create a free website for you, no strings attached. Imagine you having a website at the cost of just paying hosting price, which you'll have to pay anyway. It doesn't get any bigger than this. I look forward to speak to you when I come live next time. Till then, take good care of yourselves and people around you. Create your social media presence because that will create your brand. And brand is what sells on the internet. Brand is what's going to make you next millionaire. Bye for now.